Read in the book of Judges, chapter 2 in the King James Version. And the angel of the Lord came up from Gilgal to Bochim and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. And it came to pass, when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept. And they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto the Lord. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua. I think there is a plane coming in late. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Lord that he did for Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old, and they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gash. And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served Balaam. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord, and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil, as the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods, and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Lord, but they did not so. And when the Lord raised them up judges, then the Lord was with the judge, and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented the Lord because of their groanings, by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and following other gods to serve them, and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he said, because that this people hath transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. Okay, so a lot here. So time has passed. The generation that was even with Joshua has now passed, and so we're now to the next generation, just as it states here that in verse 10, and also that all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. So they were people of Israel, the Hebrews, they were to tell each generation the good works of the Lord, how the Lord saved them, provided their escape, provided their with a strong arm, provided their uh, provided his salvation, his redeeming uh, redemption out of Egypt, out of being a slave, and then also protecting them all of these years, and then bringing them into the promised land. But here we are with a new generation now in the promised land, just receiving the milk, the new milk and the honey, and not quite understanding that it was because of the Lord. Now, who was to teach them? Well, it was the generation before them. They were supposed to continue to teach and hand this information down, but as we can see, people started to see that things were good. And why did they need to rely on a God? Why did they need to rely on anything but themselves? Bringing past to present, thinking about that. Listen to this too, where it says, in verse 19, and it came to pass when the judge was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers in following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. Yeah, exactly. Bringing past to present, always talking to us directly. And a lot of times when we read these verses, it's really easy to say, yeah, I'm reading this verse and it's speaking about so-and-so. Right. Where are you getting that from? Are you getting that from your own thoughts and feelings? Because it sounds familiar and it looks familiar, it sounds familiar, a situation that you're going through, or a certain person that you know, or a certain group of people that you know. When the Lord particularly likes to talk directly to us. So when we're going through these verses, particularly in the book of Judges, in your mind, you may be judging others already. And that may not be in the Spirit. That may not be from the Lord. So thinking about that in our lives, what does this mean to us? What does it mean to myself in my walk with the Lord, in my spiritual journey? If we're to live in the Spirit, why am I being told these things? I don't seem to repeat things or go back to the way I was before I knew the Lord. Are there other things, though, that may be of concern? Maybe something that I'm repeating, like, I don't know, first impressions, judging people unaccordingly, unacceptably, unknowingly, talking about others without knowing the full revelation that only the Lord can provide. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?